Crystal Ball College Football. I'm your host, Grayson Grunhafer, and today we're going through our Week 7 best bets for this weekend. And let's start with James Madison at Georgia Southern. James Madison is now top 25 in the country. They're 5-0. They obviously can't make a bowl game, but they have been phenomenal in their first year, taking on a Georgia Southern team that's 3-3. James Madison, 10.5-point favorite right now. Over-under is 67. Guys, James Madison is really good, and 10.5 points is simply not enough. Georgia Southern has lost 2 games in a row. They've been relatively close, but I think they're facing a team that is really, really good. So I'll take James Madison minus 10.5 this week. Next game on the slate, Mississippi State travels to Kentucky to take on the Wildcats. Mississippi State is 5-1. Kentucky 4-2. Kentucky's coming off the loss to South Carolina. We don't know if Will Levis will be back yet. I don't like where Kentucky's set up for this week. Mississippi State is a 7-point favorite. The over-under is 46. Give me Mississippi State minus 7. They've looked really good. They destroyed A&M and Arkansas back-to-back weeks. I think they're hitting teams at the right time, and I think they're hitting Kentucky at the right time to win this game by more than a touchdown. Next on the list, Kansas travels to Norman to take on Oklahoma. Oklahoma is an 8-point favorite. The over-under is 64.5. I don't know why Oklahoma's an 8-point favorite right now. That must just mean that everyone thinks Jalen Daniels is not going to play for Kansas and Dylan Gabriel will be back for Oklahoma. But still, that's a lot of points for an Oklahoma team that has not played great over the past few weeks. But my bet here is the over-under. 64.5 points. I think there'll be plenty of points put up in this game. The thing I'm most confident about is that both these defenses are not very good. So I think a lot of points are to be had in this one. And if Dylan Gabriel does not play, Kansas is going to win this game outright. Next game on the list, Miami traveling to Virginia Tech. Both these teams kind of underwhelming this season, but Miami actually showed some things last week with Tyler Van Dyke that really intrigued me. Yeah, they lost to North Carolina, but it was a close game. I think they might be turning a corner offensively, at least somewhat. Miami's a 7-point favorite. The over-under is 46.5. I just think the Hurricanes are going to put up some points here. Virginia Tech just gave up 45 points to Pitt, and they just look like a team that is just starting to collapse here. They've lost 3 games in a row by at least 23 points. They just don't look very good to me. They've lost double digits in the last 3 games, so I'm very nervous about Virginia Tech this week, and that means I'm taking Miami to win this one. The final game on the slate here, NC State travels to Syracuse. Syracuse, 3.5-point favorites. Over-under is 44. Give me Syracuse. I think Syracuse is a really underrated team. They're very solid. They're undefeated at this point in the season. They have a win over Purdue, which is looking better and better each week. On the NC State side, they barely beat East Carolina at the beginning of the year on the road. They have a loss to Clemson on the road. I just don't think they're very good away from their home stadium, and for that reason, I think they're going to go into Syracuse and lose this game to a pretty good Syracuse team, and minus 3.5 just doesn't seem like enough. I think Syracuse will win this game by at least a touchdown, so give me the Qs to round out our predictions for Week 7 of the football season. That's it for this week. I'll be back next week to recap all the Week 7 action, but enjoy some football over the weekend. This has been Crystal Ball College Football.